Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It is Tuesday, August 4th, and today I thought I could sit down and film a 1-week update for my 1-week post-op VSG. I kind of wanted to talk about the surgery day and everything that has gone on this past week. So yeah, if that's something that you're interested in hearing, then just keep on watching. Alright, so my tripod broke about 2 weeks ago, so sorry about that. I'm just having to kind of hold you guys down here, and I'm just going to sit by this window and talk to you guys. Okay, so it has been 1 week and 1 day since my surgery. I had my gastric sleeve surgery on Monday, July 27th, and I was very, very nervous, but it honestly was not even as scary as I had it chalked up to be, and I would totally do it again. And yeah, so first let me kind of talk about the surgery day itself. So I woke up that morning, I was very nervous. The day before, I had not been allowed to have anything but clear liquids. So broth, water, things like that. No protein shakes or anything. So I was pretty hungry, but I was kind of nervous. So I really wasn't necessarily hungry anyways. I didn't really sleep the night before, and I don't even think we laid down until like 11 o'clock at night that night. So me and Dustin, we laid down about 11 o'clock at night. I didn't sleep that much, and then we had to be at the hospital at 6 a.m. So I got up about 4 a.m. and I took a shower, and I had to use a special soap called HipaCleanse that I had to wash my body with 3 or 4 times. I think I only washed it about 3 times. But you know, you wash your abdomen and your belly button and everything like that really, really well, because the soap takes off all the staph off your body, so it reduces the risk of infection. And so I took a shower and dried my hair and straightened my hair and everything, and then we headed to the hospital, and we got there about, I think we got there maybe like 10 minutes before 6, and it was still dark outside, and we parked and we went in. They got me in really, really fast. There really wasn't very many people there that morning, and the people who screen you when you walk in, your temperature and everything for COVID were there. They got us right on in. There was really no wait. They got us back, and they immediately took me back and put me in a pre-op room, and me and Dustin sat in a room. It was just a little bitty tiny room, had a bed, and they had a gown for me to wear and some TED hose, which are basically just really tight stockings that help you with clotting. They make sure that you don't get any blood clots in your legs. And yeah, so I put those on, put on some socks, and then I waited for a little while, and another nurse came back in, and they they started my IV right then, and they started me on some lactated ringers, which is basically just I believe that it's what is the word I'm thinking of, like electrolytes and things like that. They also did make me go and pee in a cup and do a pregnancy test to make sure that I was not pregnant, which I had already done one a week before, which I believe I took you guys along with me that day, and that is in my last video, when I had to go to the hospital and pre-register. But I had already done one then, so I knew I wasn't pregnant. But they made me do a pregnancy test, and then I went ahead and waited in my room. They started my IV, and we just kind of hung out back there. My procedure originally was supposed to be at 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock came and went, and I hadn't seen my surgeon yet. He had done a surgery that morning, so I don't know if he was still in surgery with that person or he was taking a break after, or however that works. They didn't actually come back and get me till about, I believe it was like 10 a.m., and then they wheeled me back, and from there it was very, very fast. I was very, very nervous, but I was also very ready. I was very excited. I had been preparing for that. I did my 2-week liquid diet and everything like that, so I was very, very ready to do it and get it over with. But they wheeled me back. The anesthesiologist came, and she told me that she was going to put something in my IV that was going to kind of calm me down before I got into the operating room. And I asked her what it was, and it was called Versed. So I remember that is maybe like 30 seconds after she told me that she was putting that in my IV, which she put it in me while they were wheeling me down the hallway to go to the OR. So it worked very, very fast. And it was called Versed, and she said it was kind of like a liquid Xanax, which I felt it very, very fast. Maybe like 30 seconds later, I felt it, and I got very, very calm. And then I walked into the room, and they put my bed that I was in up next to the operating table, and they told me to scoot over, and I did. And I didn't really even get a good look at the OR room, which I'm kind of thankful for. I was kind of freaking out about that. I did see the, I guess, robot they were using, because I had a laparoscopic robotic assisted surgery. So there was a big white thing. It had a bunch of arms coming off of it that had all different kinds of tools on it. I didn't really get a close look, but I know that that's what it was. And I scooted over onto the table, and they then put an oxygen mask over me. They were bringing it down, and they said, all right, we just need you to take in some deep breaths. This is oxygen. This is all this is. You're going to be just fine. And literally next thing I know, I was waking up in the recovery room. I woke up. I was in a different gown. I had a different IV. Turns out when I got back to the recovery room, I was kind of waking up, and I was fist bumping the nurses saying, woohoo, I did it, and I accidentally ripped out my IV. So if that's any indicator, I wasn't really feeling very much pain at the current moment. And I do remember saying that I was in pain. I remember saying, it hurts, I want Dustin, it hurts. And they were nice enough to let Dustin, my husband, come back and see me for about 5 minutes in the recovery room, and then they told him that he could go on up to my room, and they would bring me up there in a little while. I'm assuming I fell back asleep, because I don't remember anything else until I was up in my room, and they woke me up, and they told me that I had to walk from that bed over to the bed that was in my actual room. And I was very, very, very out of it and very groggy. And basically they just told me to get up and walk over there, which I was kind of worried about that, but I got up, and I was so out of it that I honestly don't even remember if it hurt me or not. I had a drain left in me on my left side, so I had to be aware of that, plus my IV was on my left side. So yeah, I had to be very careful about that, and they laid me down in my bed, and they kept telling me, you need to keep your eyes open, because I was walking over to my bed and I was closing my eyes because I was just so groggy and so out of it. And then from that point, Dustin was already there. I remember seeing him, and then literally we just stayed in our room all night. They would come and check on me occasionally. I slept for a very, very long time. I think I slept until like maybe 7 or 8 at night. I originally was not supposed to have anything that day, like any ice or water or anything, but they ended up advancing me to the next stage, which was the water stage, stage 1. So I remember when I woke up later that evening, there was 5 water bottles on my little tray in my room, and my husband told me that they wanted me to start drinking water. They gave me these little cups. I actually have one right here. These little cups, and this is what I was supposed to drink my water out of. Just pour the water in here and just slowly sip on it. So I did that a couple times, and I ended up actually walking around the floor, because they want you to get up and get walking as soon as you can, because you get a lot of gas. They blow up your abdomen with air when they do the surgery, so they have room to work. I don't ever actually remember having that much gas pain, which I'm very lucky, because a lot of people say that that is the worst part. I don't really remember having very much gas pain, but I did get up and walk, and they asked me if I wanted to take the shortcut or if I wanted to walk around the whole floor. I said I wanted to be an overachiever and walk around the whole floor, and that is exactly what I did. I had a sweet, sweet nurse with me. Her name was TK, and I remember she had the warmest hands, and I held her hand and walked that hallway, and I felt so good to do that. I remember being really happy about being able to walk the entire way. And then I don't remember if I walked very much more after that. I was still so out of it and so groggy. Honestly, that anesthesia took forever to wear off of me. They did bring me some liquid pain medicine, and I tried to drink it, but it made me very, very nauseous, and they told me that they wanted me to drink that because that is what they were going to send me home with, but I couldn't do it. And I asked them if they would please get me something else for pain. And so they gave me morphine, which actually turns out to be a bad idea for me, because soon as she put that morphine in my IV, by the time she was at the door to leave my room, I was throwing up. I think I threw up maybe 3 or 4 times. But I say throwing up, it really wasn't anything for me to throw up. I was just dry heaving very, very hard, and my husband has never actually heard me throw up or anything in the 3 years that we've been together. So I know he was kind of freaking out about that. He was right there at my side, and he took very, very good care of me. But so we found out that the morphine was just not a good idea for me. So I slept, and then I woke up the next morning, and they were trying to get me to walk some more, so I walked some more. I did end up, they were pumping me full of fluids. I was on an IV the entire time, and they were giving me the lactated ringers still. I'm not sure if they ever gave me antibiotics or not, but I believe they were giving me antibiotics through my IV during the surgery, but I'm not really sure. However, I had an oxygen thing that was measuring my oxygen in my nose. I was hooked to an IV. I still had monitors all over my chest for my heart. I had the drain. It was very hard to get up and down out of the bed, and I was pretty sore. I mean, it wasn't anything unbearable, but I was definitely sore, and it was hard to get up and down. But I was up and down all night long, needing to pee. I mean, seriously, like every hour on the hour. And Dustin actually helped me quite a bit, but there was, I think, 3 times that I got up myself, which literally involved me getting up, pulling my drain over, getting my gown together, getting my IV and everything together, taking off the oxygen, going over to the wall, unplugging my IV, and then having to walk over to the bathroom. It was crazy, but I was able to do it. I was strong enough to do it, and I remember being very, very proud that I was taking it like very well, I guess, or taking the pain very well. And then, so yeah, I was up and down a lot, walking around, and the next morning we walked around some, and that I went home the second day. They came and told me about 4 o'clock in the afternoon as when I actually saw my surgeon. He came and saw me. He asked me how I was feeling. He asked me if I wanted to go home. I said yes, I would love to go home. And he said, all right, someone will get your drain out and we'll go home. And he said, while you're waiting, we're going to send up a protein shake, and I want you to start sipping on that. So I was also surprised about that, because technically I wasn't supposed to be able to start the protein shakes until I got home. But I guess since I was going home that day, he just decided that that would be okay. I guess he felt confident that I was okay and that I could handle it. So I started trying to sip that, and that was very, very hard. It was a brand of protein shake. I believe it was Ensure. Had a lot of carbs in it, which I really, wasn't too happy about, but it didn't taste very good, and I couldn't get very much down. I think I got a couple of the these little cups down before I went home. Anyways, and then, so it took them forever to do my discharge paperwork and to get my drain out. So I waited, and my IV actually had stopped for about 3 hours before I actually left. And turns out the IV, which you can still kind of see right, that little spot on my hand, was just leaking into my hand, and my hand was all swollen. They finally took my IV out, and then my hand, that little spot, just literally leaked fluid. It was really gross. My hand was all swollen. It hurt really bad. My hand still kind of hurts, actually, but nothing unbearable, nothing crazy. And they finally took my drain out, which that was honestly the worst part of the entire situation. It didn't hurt me, but I could feel them pulling the drain out, and there was about a foot hanging out of my abdomen. It came from my abdomen down to about my knee. And I remember I had kept asking them to please tape it, because I was walking up and down the hallway all day while we were waiting, and it was hard to get up and down with it and everything. And they never taped it. I don't know why. I don't know if they forgot. I don't know what the reason, but they never taped it. And so that spot on me was very, very sore. That was and still is the only spot that really ever bothered me. But anyways, about a foot out, there was about 2 feet in me, turns out, which disgusting, grosses me out. That's sorry if you have a weak stomach, because it was pretty gross. I didn't actually look, my husband did, but I felt it. And when she was pulling it out, I could feel on the inside of me that it was, there was resistance. It was hard for the drain to come out, but she finally got it out, and they taped it up, and they gave me a big bandage, and they sent me home with it and said to keep it clean and dry. So yeah, that was okay. Then they wheeled me down, they sent Dustin out to get the car, and we went home. So then we get home, and my little brother was here. He had stayed with the dogs the night before to feed them and walk them and all that. And sorry, just trying to get the right light. Let me turn this way. Okay, so I had to turn a little bit. So then I got home, my little brother was here, and he helped me get into bed. I changed into some comfier clothes. I wore home from the hospital some sweats and a big t-shirt, but I believe I put on a nightgown, like a pretty large nightgown that I had. And I took my pain medicine and all that, and just tried to sip water, and I slept great the first night home. I was so glad to be home. And then the next morning, same thing. My little brother and Dustin were home, and or my little brother was here and Dustin was home. They sent me home with these shots. It is for a medicine called Lovenox, and they give you that in your belly, and it is to prevent blood clotting. So I got sent home with those. My little brother is actually a type 1 diabetic, so he is used to giving shots, so he gave me all of my shots up until I believe the 6th day, and then I believe the 7th day is when I actually gave myself my first shot. But he gave me my shots, and I took my pain medicine. They sent me home with some anti-nausea medication, but I never actually needed it, thank goodness. I haven't really been nauseous since I stopped with the morphine. It was really just the morphine that was making me very sick to my stomach. But yeah, other than that, this week I have been posted up in my bedroom. My dogs are, they're small dogs, but they're big enough that when they jump up, they totally reach my staples. I am stapled. I have 5 incisions. There's one that is like right under here, and then I have 5 kind of in a line on my belly, with the one to the furthest left being where the drain was. And yeah, they stapled me. And I don't remember where I was going with that, but yeah, they stapled me, and I have 5 incisions, and yeah, I just have been taking care of those. Big enough that if they will paw me, then they will definitely hit my staples. So I've just been staying in the bedroom, letting them kind of have the living room, and I've got a TV in here and everything, so I've been fine. I can watch Netflix and everything like that, and we've just been hanging out in here, taking my medicine. My mom came over a couple times, my dad came over, and I believe on Friday, which would have been 5 days post-op, my older brother came over, and his girlfriend, and my niece Piper, and that was really nice to see them. But the first week, nothing really crazy happened. I kind of just rested. I really wasn't in that much pain. I only needed my pain medicine for the first 4 days, and yeah, it went really well. I haven't had any complications. I haven't been in that much pain. I have been working every single day on getting my protein shakes down and getting my water down. It's hard. I will say that I don't feel as much restriction on drinking as I thought I would feel. I have no idea how that's going to change once I actually can transition into eating solid foods, but for now, when I drink water, I can get it down. I can't get, my goal is 64 ounces a day, which I can't fully get that down. However, I can drink about 3 ounces at a time without feeling much restriction. So I don't know if I should be worried about that or happy about that. But yeah, just working on my fluids. By the 4th day, I didn't really need pain medicine. The only thing that is still sore is where my drain hole is, and it's just barely sore. I mean, barely. I don't even need pain medicine or anything. It's just maybe when I stand up or get up out of the bed a certain way, it kind of hurts. But other than that, I really didn't have much pain. I was surprised at how little pain actually that I felt, and how little pain medicine I actually needed. I'm still kind of tired and things like that, I noticed. But I don't know if that's just, you know, recovering in general, or the fact that I'm not taking in very many calories each day or what. But yeah, the first week was like the fastest yet shortest week ever. My husband stayed home with me until Friday. He went back to work on Friday, and then he only had to go to work for like 8 hours, and then he was home for the weekend with me, and we pretty much just stayed posted up in the bedroom. We watched TV, Hulu, Netflix, all that. Focused on drinking my liquids. They did give me this spirometer to bring home, and basically you just inhale, and that's to help open up your lungs and everything like that. So I've used that too. But at this point, yeah, that's really it. My scale has decided that it is going to act up, and I am somewhere between 6 and 8 pounds down in 8 days. So yeah, but 3 of those I actually had lost the night and a half over at the hospital. So I don't know if they took 3 pounds of stomach out of me or what, but I lost about 3 pounds when I got home from the hospital. The day that I weighed, when I got home, I was down 3 pounds, and I've lost about 3 to 6 more pounds since then, really. My scale, like I said, started acting up, which is really frustrating. Hopefully I can buy one this week. But yeah, somewhere in there. I have my follow-up this Thursday. So day after tomorrow, I will have my follow-up, and they will weigh me, and I will get to know my exact weight at that point. So I'm sorry I don't have an exact number to tell you guys, but somewhere between like 4 and 8 pounds. But I will update you guys in my next video with what I lost when I find that out at my follow-up appointment. I hope they'll take my staples out. They're starting to raise. My incisions are definitely closed, everything except for the drain hole, which they just left that hole open. So that's been draining, and it's getting smaller, but it's still kind of gross to have. I keep them covered. I have big bandages that I keep over all my incisions, just to keep them clean and dry and all that. But yeah, I am still today, like while Dustin was at work, I stayed posted up in my bedroom, and I'm not gonna really hang out probably in our living room until I get my staples out, just because of the dogs and everything, and I don't want to get any dog hair in my incisions either. That has been a big concern, and that's why we've also kept the dogs out of our bedroom, so that I didn't get dog hair in the bed. Which has been kind of sad, because I love my dogs, and they're always with me, and they always sleep in the room with us, but they've been hanging out. They have the whole living room to themselves, the whole couch. We've kept the TV on for them and everything. So, they've been doing really good and all that. I can't wait until next week when I can finally actually probably be around them more. Hopefully maybe even Thursday if I get my staples out. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I've really just been hanging out. My recovery's gone great. I've had no complications so far. I have my follow-up day after tomorrow, and yeah. I don't know if I'm going to do weekly updates or not. I would love to, but I will just have to see how everything goes. But yeah, that is my update for my 1 week, plus kind of my story about my surgery day. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to hear more VSG or gastric sleeve related content, then please comment down below, give this video a thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel, of course. And yeah, so thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.